How are you doing today?
I'm doing better.
Good. So I know that this is going to be our last session together. And I know as well it's been a few weeks since your son was officially diagnosed as being paralyzed from the waist down. I'm assuming that has been really challenging. What are all your feelings associated with that?
Well, it's been hard, but from the beginning I tried to think of the worst, honestly. Tried to prepare myself for something like this that would happen. So just coping with the fact that it's actually a real thing has been really hard. It's been easier just because he's been in a wheelchair for so long now. He's gotten used to how to maneuver, different places. We've fixed our house to where it's wheelchair accessible, and it's been really hard knowing that this is going to be a lifetime thing, but it has been easier since we've gotten used to it.
So you've said you both have gotten used to it. How is he dealing with it?
He took it really hard at first. He had, always hoped, obviously, that he would be able to walk again, but he's been talking to his friends a lot more and going out with them and stuff, and I think he's accepted or is in the process of accepting the fact that that's a thing now.
Wow, so his friends have been really inclusive.
They have. The last time we talked about that party that I was going to have for them, and that went really well. A lot of his friends showed up, and we started doing that on a monthly basis, which has been really nice for him.
That's really good.
So a lot of his friends have been really helpful through all of this.
How has he been in terms of what he does during the day? Has he been spending more time outside?
He's been spending a lot of time outside. We've made paths that he can go on in his wheelchair through the farm, and he goes out to the barns and helps me feed the horses and stuff still. And he's been loving going outside and working on the farm for a while during the day after school. And then a lot of his friends come over afterwards. So
cool.
Yeah.
So his friends seem to have more time. Are sports slowing down a little bit? Is that?
They're in the process of changing seasons. So a lot of the kids can hang out a lot more now than they used to. But he'll have to get used to again, when they go back into it. But as of right now, it's really been nice.
And I know you were talking about looking into the basketball league that maybe he could be a part of?
Mm-hmm. We looked into it. It starts in a couple weeks. I'm still trying to convince him to do that. I think he wants to. He's just scared. He just doesn't know how he's going to feel about, having to change up everything that he's known for so long.
Completely
just being in a wheelchair instead of actually, running back and forth on the court. It's going to be a challenge for him, but I think it'll be really good for him, and I think I can convince him eventually.
Wonderful. It sounds as though y'all's relationship has developed a lot.
It really has.
I know you talked last time about how he was really close to his dad and how that could have been challenging for you. Mm-hmm. So have you and him gotten closer throughout this?
We have. We actually contacted his dad. He wanted to see his dad afterwards, and we contacted him. He came over for a little while and talked to us about everything, and he said he's going to try to come around a little bit more often than he used to. So my son's really been happy about that.
That's wonderful. I'm really glad that that's part of it. How has that been for you, having him back in your life?
It's been really hard, honestly. The first couple times that he came over, I couldn't deal with it. I kind of just walked away. I didn't really know how to respond to him. But it's gotten easier. It's become more of a normal thing now. So it's kind of something I have to get used to at this point.
Would it be something simpler if maybe they didn't meet at your house, or would that be too difficult?
That probably would be. Just getting him to places because he can't drive is another thing that we're going to have to work on. That would probably be a lot easier.
Does his father have the ability to possibly pick him up or take him somewhere?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I wonder if maybe you could look into that. As much as it's not super challenging for you to communicate with him a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe then that would give you some time for yourself. Have you been taking time for yourself? I know we talked about that a little bit.
I have a lot more. When he's in school, it's a lot easier now that he's in school full time to just kind of relax during the daytime and clean the house and do the dishes, all the stuff that I need to get done before he comes home.
Right. And all of those things seem as though you really need to do them. Do you have time to read or do your nails as though things you like to do?
I do. Once I get everything done at the house, I usually just sit and watch TV or read for a little while before he gets home.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds as though you're feeling a little bit better. Minus the cough that you
Yeah, I've been feeling a lot better.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of financially, you also said that now you have put accommodations into your house.
Mm-hmm.
How has all of your financial situation been, especially with that added?
Actually, his dad has helped quite a bit with that since we contacted him the first time. That was one of his first things that he wanted to get done, was helping with all the wheelchair stuff around the house. So that's been really helpful. He hasn't really given us any support before, so it's been really nice that he's actually trying now.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm glad that that can be a part of your life again. We also talked about the groups that you've been attending. Are those still going well for you?
They are. I've been going a lot less frequently now, just because there's been so much to get done around the house and with him and taking him different places, but they have helped a lot. So I still go, but probably just once a week instead of, every day or whatever.
And do you think that that's still benefiting you? Do you think it's been difficult to not go as much, or does it seem like the right amount of time?
I think it seems like the right time. Kind of just weaning myself off of the group stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And has your son began to attend groups again, or is he still?
He's been getting more involved with his school and groups with his school and stuff. So that's been really helpful for him.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like he's feeling a lot better about the situation.
Mm-hmm. He took it really hard at first, but I think he's coming to terms with the fact that this is a thing that you can't really stop. So
right.
Yeah, you just kind of have to accept it.
It sounds like y'all have a great support group around you, and he has a very strong mother in his midst to help him out, which is wonderful. He sounds like a wonderful guy. I've never met him, but I'm sure he's great. And since this is our last session together, how are you feeling about us not meeting anymore?
It's gonna be hard, not having someone to talk to all the time about this kind of stuff, but I really do think that we've gotten so much better since we first started out. Sorry. So,
okay.
Yeah, it has gotten a lot better since we first started out. I just think not being able to talk to someone about it will be hard from here on out.
Right. Well, I would hate for you to not have anyone to talk to, especially when you're so busy as a single mom. And I know talking with parents is great, but you sometimes need an outside support. And so I think it'd be wonderful to keep going to your groups, and we could even hook you up with another service or another social worker or something if you felt that was necessary. Because I wouldn't want you to be left in the dust just having no one to talk to. And I wish that I could extend further, but my role is just for the hospital setting.
Right, I understand.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad. But we should definitely look into that further.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you have the ability to continue talking with someone. So what are the most pressing things that you feel as though you need to talk about before we end our time together?
I guess just how hard it is that his dad is coming back. That's been really difficult on me, but it's been hard that my son really needs him at this time in his life. He really needs a dad around, and so I have to kind of just accept the fact that he's going to be in our lives again, and that's been really hard.
What specifically has made it hard? Your relationship with his dad, or are you concerned that his dad's going to leave him again?
Yeah, I'm definitely concerned that he's getting really close to his son and he's just going to leave again. That's my main concern right now, because everything seemed fine when he left the first time, and then it was just so sudden. So I just don't know what he's going to do this time, and I don't want my son to get close to him and then him just leave again.
It's really hard. I'm so sorry. Is there a way that you could talk with your son about this?
I have. I've talked to him a little bit about it, but he just really wants his dad around right now, and I understand that. So I can't just stop him from seeing his dad. So
I think that's really great that you're allowing him to have time with his dad, especially when it's challenging for you. I think, as we talked about a little earlier, setting boundaries might be really helpful, especially if it's weighing on your heart to have to see him. That's not very fair for your situation as well. Do you have close friends that, I know you talked a little bit about friendships that you've been reaching out to? Have they been a good support still?
Yeah, my neighbors have been really, really helpful. My neighbors, they come over a lot, and we cook together and hang out and, you know, go on the farm and stuff, and they help me out a lot at the house. And my parents have been a great help too, coming over a lot and helping, you know, cook dinners and everything.
Awesome. So if his father were to step out of the picture again, is there another man support system that he would be able to look up to? Is there another man in his life?
He's really close to his grandpa, my dad.
Cool.
So that would be a really big help. He's been coming over a lot recently to help fix up the farm and stuff. So that could be a male support system, but it's still going to be really hard if, you know, he gets really close to his dad and then just all of a sudden isn't.
That would be extremely difficult. And that's another reason I think it'd be really important for you to have another person, this other social worker to talk to. Has your son been to a counselor outside of group meetings? Or
no, he hasn't yet.
How do you feel? Do you feel that that would be something helpful for him, or would he be overwhelmed by it?
I think it would be really helpful for him if we can get him to go.
Right.
So I've had a hard time convincing him to do a lot of things, but once he does them, he likes them, so I'm still trying.
Do you think it would be helpful for y'all to have a family counselor together?
That would probably help.
Do you think that that would be something he'd be more interested in?
Maybe, yeah, if I went with him, that would be nice.
Maybe you guys could have time to talk about what you're feeling about with his father, how he's feeling, and have that together as well to build your relationship.
Yeah, that would really help.
Okay. Well, and I will make sure we give resources to counselors or social workers specifically for you, and also give you some family therapists in case you would like to explore that venue.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know that it is expensive sometimes to continually see a social worker, so you could also, maybe we could investigate his school system to see if they have some type of school social worker that he could see if he needed to do that as well. So we said one of the most pressing concerns was with his father. Are there any other things that you're really feeling, that you're really struggling with right now, that you need to discuss?
Just dealing with everything all at once. You know, everything's changed, and it's just hard to get used to this, you know, because everything just keeps changing, you know. He was in the hospital for a really long time, and then I was pretty much living there, and then we came home, and he was in a wheelchair, so we had to fix our house for that, and his dad coming back into the picture. It's just everything all at once, you know.
Right, and so I never want to put words in your mouth. Just what I'm hearing is that it's very unstable, and it's hard to live in instability like that. That is really difficult. I'm so sorry. I'm hopeful that since he has gotten more accustomed to his wheelchair, and you guys have gotten more accustomed to your house and your time together, that it'll start to feel more stable, especially with school back in session, and especially if he decides to join a sport. That'll be a very consistent schedule, and hopefully that would give you even some more time to get your bearings back together.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, though. It's a very challenging time. You've been doing a wonderful job dealing with it throughout this process, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. I know one other thing you touched on last time we met was that you've become, it can be very frustrating, can make you very mad when either the situations your son's in or his reluctance to be a part of things. How have you been dealing with that?
It's been really frustrating. I'm just used to fixing everything for him, and, you know, when his toy's broken, I fix it. When something isn't right, I try to help him, and this is just something that you can't fix, and it's just been really hard for me to deal with the fact that I can't help him beyond, you know, what he can do for himself. So that's been really hard, being a mother and looking at him being upset and I can't fix it.
That is really challenging. What do you think are some other ways, instead of trying to fix it, what are other ways you think you could help him? What other things do you see that he needs that you have the ability to help with?
I really think that him joining some kind of sport team would help a lot in his situation. I'm trying to push for that right now. and just, driving him places and getting him more involved in different things around his community and his school. That would help him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great to see the things that you are able to do and not beat yourself down with the ability that you can't fix it, because it is something unfixable. But I think that the support you're giving him and the help you're giving him, he feels very loved through that. And even if he's not expressing it wholly because he's angry about the situation as well, I think that's great that you're doing all those things for him. And I think it'd be great to continue to know that you can only help to the furthest capacity that you can. And I'm so sorry that that's so challenging. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of our time together. So I want to make sure that we have all of the things you'll need before we depart. So I want to definitely connect. We need to look through school system, counselors, and I also have some friends who are in the family therapy department outside of the hospital. Would you prefer to look for social workers maybe closer to where you live? Would that be easier?
That would be a lot easier, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll try to look into some businesses or agencies that are possibly closer. So you said you live about 15 minutes from town? Where exactly? Because we're in the heart of Nashville. Are you in like Mount Juliet or Smyrna or something?
Mount Juliet.
Okay, awesome. Well, then I'll try to look in that area for agencies and at his school. And financially, you sound pretty sound. Okay.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot better.
Awesome. And so are you still talking with the financial agency that was assisting you?
They've helped as much as they can, so yeah, we've been good since then.
Awesome. So do you believe you'll need any other financial assistance?
I don't think so. With his dad coming back into the picture, like I said, it's been a really big help. So
wonderful. Okay, and I would, if his father were to choose to leave again, I would hope too you could reach out to your social worker and ask for other financial needs.
Yeah.
But in terms of all of that, that sounds great. And yeah, that sounds like we've gotten really far. I'm very, so glad of your progress. You've shown a lot of strength throughout this process, and you've been a very inspiring mother, I think, for him, especially to see that. And it is so natural and normal to get angry, but I think the resilience you're showing throughout this is wonderful. So
thank you.
Never forget that. And it's been wonderful meeting with you. And if you really do need something, you can always reach out back to our department here in the hospital, and we can connect you with more resources so you don't feel like you're hanging out by yourself. And I'll make sure to give those resources before you leave today.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.